Hello there everybody, Sam Strains here, welcome back to the railway. It's that time of year again. I have found the new cheapest train set I've ever seen, and it's either going to be really impressive or horrendously awful. At the moment it could go either way, but let's find out. So earlier this year, Hornby brought out their most recent addition to the Hornby Junior range. It was this Hornby Paddington train set, and while it did do everything it promised to do, I came to the conclusion that you could get a cheaper train set that does more or less the same thing. So this is one such train set. I'm not for a moment trying to suggest that this will be better than the Hornby Junior. Possibly it will be better value. As I say, this is the cheapest train set I have ever picked up. This one cost me £7.49 on Amazon, and I think that might have included free delivery as well. Now, the annoying thing is the price does fluctuate on this. At the time of buying it was £7.49. It's now gone up to £11 something. However, if you do a bit of shopping around, you can still find these for around the £7 something mark. So if you're interested, I will include a link down in the description. However, you might want to take a look at this with me first, because I really have no idea what to expect from this. Well, I've got a pretty good idea. For £7, I think we're going to be in for a treat, don't you? So let's get this out and find out just what sort of a treat we're going to be in for. So £7.49 is very approximately half the price of one super detailed Hornby or Bachmann wagon, which just kind of puts it into perspective for you. The Hornby Junior train set, which was all plastic once again, cost 4 to 5 times as much as this one did, so that's very interesting. Questions then. First of all, is this 00 gauge? The tracks in there look like they are, but I've not had them out yet, so I can't check. If they are though, there's a good chance this might actually run on my main layout, provided the wheels are all suitable. Second of all, is this going to compare to the Hornby Junior train set? First of all, you can see it's an awful lot smaller. It's very, very tiny compared to the Hornby Junior. I don't think it includes any buildings as far as I can tell, although they were just cardboard buildings in the Hornby Junior train set, so you have to ask yourself how much of the cost is actually attributed to those, and whether or not it would just be easier to make them yourself anyway. Also, the Hornby Junior train sets only have 3 units in them. You've got the 2 end cars and the middle coach, if I remember correctly. They were quite a lot larger than the wagons we have in this set, but as you can see, we have 5, including the loco. So, that might be better, it might be worse. We'll have to wait and see. So, let me turn the box over for you. Here's a treat. So we've got conjunction in block capitals, which I think is a strange way of saying that's how you join the track. Use 2 AA batteries, blah 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 for the loco, that's fair enough. On, off in block red capitals, so that's obviously quite important, we'll have to be careful of that. And again, conjunction in block capitals to show how the loco and tender couple. So somebody's found a new favourite word, haven't they? Conjunction, not really heard that one before, at least not repeated multiple times. So, how do we get this open? Is it like sealed? It's impossible to open. Oh, no, okay, no, we open it at the front, so that's a bit unusual. Right, I'll get some implement to help with that. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this, folks, aren't you? Right, let's see. Just remember, folks, half the price of a single super detailed wagon. Right. Here it comes. All right. Well, where to start? Well, let's start by finding out whether or not the track is actually 00 gauge, or as close to 00 gauge as we can get and still actually intermingle the 2 scales. So, let's see. There's one piece of the track. Ooh. It looks very, very slightly wider than 00, if you can see that. However, I think it might work. We might be okay. I've also noticed that the track is ridged on here, presumably to give the loco a bit more traction, which is interesting. So how much track do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces there. So I think that will be 10 curves in total, provided this stack is the same. And what about this one? How many straights have we got? It looks like we've got 4 straights in here. So it sounds like a reasonable oval of track, doesn't it? Probably quite similar to the Hornby Junior set. Can't remember really how big that one was. Yes, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Shall we have a quick look at some of the engines and rolling stock? Well, there's only one engine, obviously. Well, let's grab one of the pieces of rolling stock to start with then. Right, I've just spotted a feature that you won't have done yet. So, as you can see, it looks quite good, doesn't it? There's quite a bit of printing, which I wasn't expecting, and I wouldn't go as far as to say it's detailed in any way, but, you know, it's not just a box with paintwork on it, is it? So that's something. Are you ready, though? I'm going to show you the underside. That's nice, isn't it? Very, very nice. I'm going to be interested to see how that goes. There's literally nothing inside it at all. No weights, no nothing, just wheels on the bottom of the box. Wow, I wonder if they're all like that. Crikey. So this looks like a coach. Okay, yeah, it is. It is the same. It's got some lettering. What does it say on the side? Does it make sense? Nobleness, max. Well, that's good. Nobleness, train power. Blimey. Well, I have seen more noble looking coaches, I'll be honest with you. What did that first one say on it? British Chemical Comical. What? Well, it is comical. I don't think they intended it to be. What else does it say? Oh, there's some German lettering on there. So it does say British Chemical Comical on the side, but the rest of the text is German. So I'm not 100% convinced by that. What does this one say? This one says, car new, long car, and then just some gibberish, it looks like. This is cool. I like this. I'm enjoying this for the comic factor of this. Fantastic. And I assume this is going to be the same, is it? Oh, perhaps not. Power Potter train. What's this? Harry Potter branding now, is it? British Transport Company with PB on the side. Mini speed. Right, so it's making less sense as time goes on. No, they're not the same coaches then. So we have got 4 discrete pieces of rolling stock, it seems. I think pieces of rolling stock is a bit generous, but we'll call it that just for the sake of argument. All right, the piece de la resistance. Let's take a look at the mighty steam loco. Right, well, it's not very heavy. It's probably because it's not got its batteries yet. What does it say? Railroad, power and speed, dignity train, nobleness. Oh, we've got the nobleness on it, have we? Round the super train, it says. Super classical choo-choo. Oh, blimey. Right. Well, I think the less said, the better about this. What do you reckon? It's got 1 set of driven wheels. There seems to be an LED sort of towards the bottom of the firebox, which is a bit strange. So yeah, I mean, it's not particularly luxurious, I think is the most positive and kind thing I can say about this. However, will it be a functional train set? There's still some hope for that, he says, expecting that that's probably not true either. But I will set this up. Let's get the rest of the track out. I will set this up and I'll come back to you when conjunction has occurred, shall I? Okay, let's give it a try. Wish me luck. Okay folks, it is ready, and as you can see, it looks like a train set. I think the actual circuit of track is quite a lot smaller than the Hornby Junior train set. It's not like 10 times smaller or 5 times smaller, as you'd expect if you were going on price alone. However, yes, it is a little bit smaller. The wagons have all gone onto the track reasonably easily, although they've all got ridged wheels on them, which makes it sound like there's a TARDIS coming every time you move them. Listen to this. So, questions you might have then, questions I can almost hear you asking. How easy is the track to put together? Well, it's actually reasonably intuitive, in fact probably a bit easier to put together than the Hornby Junior was. So you've got 2 pegs on one end of a piece of track and 2 holes for those pegs on another piece, and you just slot them onto each other. So it's easy to put together, but there's nothing that really sort of locks in place, so it's easy for them to come out again, which isn't great if you're sort of not being that careful. The other annoying thing is you can't sort of do your own track designs, because as soon as you try and put another piece on, the opposite way to make an S-bend or something, the interlock isn't going to work. So what they should have done is have sort of a peg on the left-hand side and a hole on the right, and that would allow a bit more customizability, I suppose, if you were to buy more than one set. And there's quite a lot of cheap train sets that do this. Don't know why really, because it wouldn't cost a lot to invent a system that can allow you to put track together any way you like. But besides that, it's not so bad. Next question then is, where do the batteries go in this? How do we get the batteries in, and will it actually work? So if the instructions on the box are to be believed, the screw that gets the body off the loco is subtly hidden. That's right in the middle of the cab where you can very clearly see it. I like this already. Let's give it a try. I think it's just the one screw, I could be wrong. Oh, right, okay, it's not just the whole body that comes off, it's the lovely top half, as you can see. And that looks reasonably okay, doesn't it? Nothing too difficult about that. It does seem at least to take double A's as it said it would, so that's something. It's turned off by default, which is smart. It hasn't just started trying to get away from my hands. So let's put the top back on, which lugs on quite nice. Actually, the design isn't too bad. I mean, it's not particularly thoughtful, as you can tell by the placement of the screw, but it makes a bit of sense, at least, and it's quite heavy now that it's got batteries in. Does it work? That's the question. Yes. And the light works. But let's just cut back to the box for a second. Light and sound. I can't hear any sound. They lied to us, folks. There is no noise. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a bloody relief, isn't it? Because the sounds that these things make are dreadful normally. So I'm quite glad about that. However, I was promised sound and I did not get sound, which is a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying, but I suppose, again, the Hornby Junior train set didn't have sound, but then again, they didn't promise it. So it works, so as you can see. Maybe some of the other wagons will make a racket as they go over the track. That's very possible. But let's try that then. Let's see how this works. Let's see how this goes. And by the way, yes, I wasn't wrong about the noise actually coming from the wagons. I'm hoping that's not what they meant when they said sound. Okay, right, conjunction has occurred. Let's switch it on and see exactly what happens. I mean, it wasn't a very, very big surprise, but it's working. Will it complete a lap without derailing? That's the question. Yes, yes it will. Okay, I mean, it's a little bit cheaper and nastier than the Hornby Junior train set, that's true. It doesn't come with any buildings or accessories, which is also true. However, I think that's all fairly reasonable given that it's 4 to 5 times cheaper. You have 5 pieces of rolling stock, including the loco, which stay on the track, which can't be said for the Hornby Junior. And apart from that, there's not a great deal of difference. The track is more or less the same. I think the Hornby Junior wins just about on track because it's slightly better designed, and yeah, it stays together a bit better. But besides that, you wouldn't really know that this was 4 to 5 times cheaper. And for £7.49, I'm actually quite pleased with this. So that is really, really cool. That's not bad. It gets full marks, of course, for the beautiful English on the side of some of those wagons, particularly the British Chemical Comical, which was very comical. They were right about that. Big question then. Will this work on my 00 gauge layout? Will it work on points? Well, who knows? Goodness only knows. But there's one way to find out, isn't there? So let's give it a try. Right, so looking at it, it looked as though the gauge was going to be quite similar. But is it in practice? Well, let's see. Let's try it with one of these wagons. Oh dear. Well, the flanges are very, very large, which means that they touch the sleepers, and so that you get even more rattling and rumbling. And in fact, because they're so light and basically hollow, I wonder whether that's going to be a problem on point work or not. I bet it will be. Let's see. No, it isn't. Well, it might well be, but we'll see. Right, well, let's get the rest of the train coupled then. It might be a bit too ambitious trying to do the whole lot, but that's okay. We'll see what happens. Right. Okay, well, it's certainly not going to be a smooth ride for any passengers that dare to get on board this thing. I don't think there are any that are actually that insane, but there might be, Okay. So the entire train is on, and it doesn't look dreadfully happy, does it? But it still might stay on the track better than the Hornby Junior one did. Right, we need the engine on this end. Okay. Oh, crikey. I don't know what's going to happen, folks. I can't. I'm going to go ahead and guess that this isn't going to get around. You let me know in the poll. Is it going to? Yeah, I'm not convinced. I will be proved wrong, though. I will be proved wrong. Let's see. Right, switch it on. Let's see what happens. Oh, blimey. It feels too fast. Ooh. Oh, what's happened? Well, it seems it's either the slight hill, which is Gordon's Hill, that's done this, or the fact that there's now ballast on the track. But either way, it's lost its ability to pull the train, so what I'm thinking of doing is just disconnecting there, probably, and have just engine and one wagon go around and just see if it is capable of actually managing the track. Oh, it's derailed, I think. Okay, alright, see you then. Well, that's a bit better, isn't it? Do you know what? That is working reasonably well, the engine on its own. Wow, that is genuinely very impressive. Oh, there's going to be a crash though, isn't there? Oops. Oh well, some of you are asking for crashes and it's his cheap, so there we go. Oh, okay. Blimey, the engine doesn't derail easily, does it? Crike. So it seems that it is the rolling stock that is causing the problems, which is good. Because of course you can modify this so that it can have a normal Hornby coupling on it. And if as long as the engine works alright, you know, on Hornby track, then you're away, aren't you? So that isn't bad. However, I'm going to try it on points and things, and we'll try one wagon coupled to it and just see how it goes, shall we? So here we have the British Chemical Comical train, and it doesn't sound happy, don't get me wrong, but it does seem to work. This is intriguing now. Could I fit a Hornby coupling? The answer is yes, and also without modifying or damaging the original loco in any way. As you can see, I've just screwed a mainline coupling onto the original coupling of the engine and made it loose enough so that it's able to pivot and turn. And will it work with it? Sure, why not? So there you are then, modelers. Someone better than me. Figure out a way to put proper wheels on it and pickups. And you got yourself a 10 quid steam loco there, or less. So I did not find a way to do this with my Hornby Junior. In fact, it didn't stay on the track long enough to make it worthwhile trying. But this one is pretty reliable. I'm very impressed. And just think, if you coupled a tender with pickups in it onto the loco, you wouldn't even need to modify the loco at all. You just solder the wires from that tender straight to the loco, and you've got it running off the track then. Although a new motor would be advisable that can take 12 volts. Either that or just keep the power low on the controller. It does appear to be a standard size motor, but I'm not going to go into that today, but I'm going to go into it, believe me. So folks, there is a link in the description. At last we've got a reason to buy this junk. 7 quid and you can get a loco that with a tiny amount of modification will pull wagons on your 00 gauge layout. Yes, it handles express points, as you can see. And it could also go in reverse if you did wire a tender up to it with pickups in. There's no reason why the whole mechanism wouldn't lend itself to going in reverse. And yes, it takes tighter second radius points as well. Incredible. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, it doesn't have as many features as the Hornby Junior sets do. However, for 4 to 5 times less in terms of the cost, this actually delivers quite a lot more, and it works just as well, if not slightly better. Very, very pleased with this. Let me know in the poll. Are you going to try one of these? Would you buy one? Or would you not sink that low? Let me know. I'll be interested to see. For now though, thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that actually as much as I did. I wasn't expecting this to work as well as it does on modern track. But that has opened up a whole new avenue of modification that could be done with this. I'm going to actually try and electrify this next and see if I can't get it to work with a tender, as I say. Maybe even put a 5-pole motor into it, who knows. See where it goes, see where it takes us. For now though, thank you for watching. As I say, thank you for your time. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and I will see you very soon. Alright, cheers folks, take care. Alright, go on then, one little bonus, just so I don't have to make another video. So I've now set this up to run off my normal controller. As you can see, I've put a Hornby tender onto this, which has got pickups in it, crucially, so that's doing all the power picking up. I've swapped the motor inside here with a 12-volt 5-pole Hornby motor, which is really good stuff. And I've had to replace the batteries with some weights, which I don't think are quite as heavy as the batteries were, so it's not a great puller. In fact, it struggles a little bit to move the tender, but I can probably fix that by putting some extra weights on. However, it will now go forwards and backwards. Look at this. That's forwards and backwards on the controller. The light still works, although it's a bit brighter now. I probably ought to have put a resistor on there. And as you can see, it can do a good crawl if it doesn't cut out. Let's see if we can get it to do a really good crawl. In fact, if I lift the wheels up, you can see just how good a crawl it can do. You ready? I mean, that's not bad, and of course it can go very fast as well. Oops, that's the light bulb gone. Yeah, it's blown the bulb, never mind. And yeah, it works. So let's send it off and we'll have one last look at it running on the actual track system. Yeah, the bulb started working again as well. So there you are, £7. And I think, folks, that is just about it. So thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you on the next one.